What's up guys, this is Teddy. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Mojo Dialer, a brief introduction to Mojo Dialer, and a tutorial on how to use the software to produce leads on a consistent basis. I'll be honest with you, Mojo Dialer is one of those softwares that is so robust. I always tell people that it takes a while to learn Mojo Dialer, so if you can't learn all of the features in one day, you kind of just have to take it one bit at a time because there's a lot of depth and there's a lot of exploring to do when you actually start using this, and you can't give up too early because you won't see the payoffs. So let's go ahead and let's dive into Mojo. The first place that you're always going to start is going to be on this little toolbar up here. Whenever you start up Mojo and whenever you feel lost, just go up to this little toolbar and start messing around, because that's where the vast majority of where your control and how you use the software is going to be. The home button is probably one of the least used buttons. Maybe there's probably some other ones, but the home button is one of the least used, and that's because when you have activities and when you have follow-up calls, it's going to show them that it's going to show them in the front here. And I've already done all my follow-up calls. You can also see your activity stream. You can see that I've made I ran 130 calls just a little bit ago. I did a couple calls last night, and you can kind of track your metrics, which is really important if you're really trying to hit goals. So the one thing that many people don't talk about is how do you obtain lists? There's all different ways, there's all different lead sources that you can use. There's all different types of lists that you can use. Many people want to know how do I actually get numbers? The first place that everybody wants to go, and one of the best places I think, is going to be FSBO's and expired data. The expired data is expensive, but it's really good. You can just blow through some expireds. I believe it's around $50 a month. You get FSBO data, and you can get neighborhood search. Neighborhood search is calling landlines. It'll allow you to kind of zone in on a particular area and subdivision, and you can target places that way. And once again, I really like the neighborhood search because you can find lots of numbers that way. But if you just want something that's really quick and you want something that can immediately just dump numbers into the dialer, you can go that route. You can also go third-party routes. I will warn you, I am sponsored by Cole Realty. Cole Realty is the only way that I know that you can actually get cell phone numbers. Unfortunately, Mojo does not provide cell phone numbers. Cole Realty, and I'll leave a link down in the description. If you want a subscription to Cole Realty, if you use the link or mention my name at checkout, you get 30% off a year subscription. And if you ask them nicely, they'll probably give you the Retriever app, which I believe costs money too. But once again, just ask them if you can have the Retriever. They'll probably give it to you. Sorry, Cole Realty. Didn't mean to give away the Retriever app, but they will give it to you. I'm not kidding. Okay, so once again, here is I used to use the lead store, but now I pretty much use Cole Realty 24/7. So the lead store is pretty self-explanatory. You dump the phone numbers in there, and Mojo does everything for you. If you want to import third-party numbers, what you do is if you didn't see, I'm on the dialer thing, or the dialer tab here. You import the file, and it's pretty self-explanatory. It will go ahead and it's going to walk you through everything. It's going to walk you through how to set, and you have to use an Excel spreadsheet. You have to dump numbers into Mojo with an Excel spreadsheet, and it will walk you through everything. So that is pretty much it for the most part. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to explain what these boxes are. When you're dialing, when you first see these boxes, are going to be confusing, as you know. They're just confusing. You don't know what these boxes are. The property calling list is going to be how you go through Mojo's leads and how you actually funnel through the cancels, expireds, the off markets, and the FSBOs. If you click on the FSBOs, you can, once again, you can blow through all the FSBOs relatively quickly. You can do your canceled, you can do your expireds, and you choose the list that you want to actually go through. If you're dumping third-party numbers in, you're going to be utilizing this box right here called the calling list, and these are calling lists that you actually make on your own. Now, I've already, once again, if you want to dump the numbers in there, go down to the import file, but I've already got my list loaded up. I am ready to rock, man. I'm ready to call some people. I'm ready to get some leads going on. The next thing that you want to do is you want to click this little green button right here called the power dialer. Now, I have no idea what this marketing button is, and I don't touch it, to be honest with you. 90% of my day is calling, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to boot up the power dialer. Now, the next thing that you want to do is you want to go ahead and you want to configure, if you're brand new, you want to configure your settings. You can set it so that when you call people, it comes up through a caller ID, and you can configure it that way. That's my office phone number. If you are bored and you want to call my office phone number, I guess you could call that. You can set it for how many rings that you want to do. And if you have the triple dialer, you can choose how many lines that you want ringing at one time. Now, many people ask me, what do you do when two people simultaneously answer the phone? This is what's called the callback function, and what I typically recommend people is you just record a silence. You just record silence so that when two people simultaneously answer, it plays silence and they don't hear anything, and they're just like, hello, hello. And as soon as you get off the phone with the other person and they hang up, it calls them back. It's annoying to people, but I will be honest with you, it's extremely effective and it works magic. But to be honest with you, I always like to be honest with people. I only use $1. I don't need the triple dialer. I can hammer out around 100 calls in a day, and that's enough for me. The triple dialer, I would say, is worth it, but in my opinion, I just don't utilize it, so I don't use a triple dialer. Some people love it, some people hate it. So the list that I've compiled is a vacant land list, and it's all the people who own vacant land in my city, which is Wilmington. And I've deleted the names, and I'm going to hide the numbers to kind of protect people's anonymity. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how the power dialer actually works. So you have the power dialer, and then you have the nurture dialer. What's the difference between the power dialer and the nurture dialer? Power dialer continues and blows through numbers. It does not stop, and there's no way that you actually can stop it. Your nurture dialer, it actually stops, and it gives you the ability to go to the next person. It's very effective if you're prospecting things like absentee owners, FSBOs, and leads where a lot of times the data in the lead is not perfectly correct, and you actually need to check it because you don't want to call the person, or you're calling so many people that are wrong. Because a lot of times when you're inputting stuff from these third-party softwares, even Cold Realty, a lot of times you get numbers wrong. It's just kind of the name of the game, and the nurture dialer can help do that. But I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to fire up the power dialer here. I've got my Skype number. So many people also want to know, what do you do? How does it actually work? And do you call out of the computer? This is the secret right here. You need to either get a Skype number, or you need to get a Gmail number. The Gmail number, I believe, is free. I have Skype because I do a lot of business calls and I need my headset because I'm more efficient. So I have Skype, and I also Skype with people. I Skype with other agents. I'm also going to give a plug to my prospecting group. It's 100% free. If you want to join, please leave a comment down below and I will invite you to it. Once again, it's 100% free, and you get to prospect with other real estate agents. So let's go ahead here. You're going to be connecting to the dialer. Okay. So the next thing that you want to do is you want to take this number right here. Let's see. Got this number. And you call it. So you're going to call it.
Using your touchtone phone, please enter your PIN number. Your PIN number can be found in the dialing box.
Okay. You enter your PIN. I'm going to go ahead and leave it down there.
You are now logged into the Mojo dialer. Please press the start button on your screen to begin calling.
Let's go ahead and let's do a couple calls. And I'm going to block out those numbers up at the top there. Hi, this is Teddy. I'm with Coldwell Banker here in Wilmington. I'm just calling to see if maybe you've considered selling your vacant land here in Wilmington.
I don't own any land.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I believe I have the wrong number then.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Okay, then you want to make sure that you're hitting contact, no contact, and bad number or DNC contact, because it's going to group them. Okay, so that's going to be a no contact.
Mailbox of 9.
That one's going to be a no contact. Make sure don't immediately click each one contact, even if it's a no contact. Make sure that you separate them because you want to group them. Go ahead and I'm going to pause it there. The next thing that many people want to know about, and I'm going to kind of, let me see here. Let's bring up a nurture dialer. Okay, so let me see. All right, so let's say that you actually found somebody, you found a good lead or maybe a warm lead or somebody that had considered selling at 6 months down the line. The next thing that you always want to do is you want to immediately start typing notes. So I've got Teddy, seller lead, very interested, 6 months out, 6 months out. And obviously that's spelled wrong, but you get the point. Always make sure that you take good notes and group them by the type of lead. Is it a hot lead? Is it a dead lead? Is it an appointment set? Is it a warm lead? Okay, so let's say that you actually get an appointment. You get an appointment with a FSBO. You want to, obviously you want to put them in this area right here, but you also want to set a appointment call with this person. You always want to make sure that you're using Mojo to schedule your appointments, because when you're at this screen, you immediately can kind of get the appointment down, because you can tell yourself that you're going to remember it, but you're probably not going to remember it. The other great thing about Mojo is that you can export your follow-up leads, or you could export your database into Mojo, and you can actually follow up with people at rapid fire. And this is also what the nurture dialer is very good for. And when you do this, you're going to get people who are going to say, you know, Teddy, I appreciate you following up with me, but I'm not quite at the place where I need to be for this property. I do want to sell it, obviously, but I'm just not quite there. Set me up on a follow-up call for about 3 months down the road, and that's when you use the follow-up call. Another great feature is that when you are talking to people and you want a quick little, you need to figure out where this property is, because a lot of times you're calling these people and it shows their address and you just don't know, you know, obviously it takes a while to learn all these streets in your city, so you can immediately just boom, you can bring it up on Google Maps and you can see it from the outside, and you can say things like, oh wow, what beautiful shutters this property has. If you're working with FSBOs, you can also hit this little Zillow button right here and you can instantly see where the property is and kind of the history of the property. And lastly, I always like to tell people about the show calling script here. You can show your script. You can set it beforehand to pick out which one that you want to do. Maybe you're doing it just listed. Maybe you're doing it just sold. You can pick which script that you want. I'm actually not much of a fan of the Mojo scripts. I think that they're great, and you can also add your own, but personally, I just don't use them. Down here, you also have things like the history. You can set it so that you can email them. You can actually customize email so that immediately after you get a lead, you can immediately hit that email button and you're pretty much ready to rock. But that's pretty much it for today. That's all the features that I know with Mojo Dialer. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, and happy prospecting to you. If you guys did enjoy this video, you know, really like the video, or maybe you like my channel in general, just make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching.